Hey, it's Amy from MastroStretch, and I'm going to give you a 5-minute psoas stretch routine that's going to help your hip and your back pain. So if you like my channel, please subscribe to it by clicking right here. All right, so we're going to come into a kneeling position. So the hip flexor runs from inside, like kind of groinish area, through the hip, crosses over and attaches into the inside of the vertebrae. So it's that hip flexor. So we're flexing the hip, bringing that knee into the chest. That's the movement that the hip flexor does. So we're going to start with that stretch. So we're coming into a kneeling position. Now, if you notice, my foot kind of goes in, right? That means your hip flexor is a little tight because it's rotating that foot, lower leg in. So go ahead and straighten that lower leg out. If you need something to hold on to, feel free to get a stool or short roller to hold on to that. So we're going to activate the hip flexor first before we stretch it out, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to start in a stretch position. So go ahead and shift your hips forward, okay? You're probably going to start to feel a little stretch, and particularly maybe in that groin area because you rotated that foot back out. So let's activate those hip flexors. So you're going to pretend you're pulling that knee up into the chest. So you're going to push that knee into the mat and then draw the hips back. Relax. So you're going to feel those muscles contract. Let's do that 2 more times. So push and stick the butt out. Relax. Let's do that again. Activate that muscle first. Now keep that tension, keep that contraction. Push down through the lower leg, top of the foot and lower leg, and start to open up that hip flexor. Push those hips forward. Try not to overarch the back too much. You want to try to flatten the front of this hip. And then pull back. And keep that tension. Open up those hip flexors. Tighten the abs a little bit. Try not to overarch too much here. And then again, you may walk this foot forward. That will help increase that stretch. And then open up the front of the hip capsule, right? Pushing down through the lower leg, creating that tension, and you're playing that little bit of tug of war with yourself, right? Good. Go ahead and release. That's resistance stretching. Now we're going to do the opposing muscle. Let's go into the hamstring. So switch legs. Now we're working the back part, right? The back part of the leg to really open up those hip flexors. So walk your foot slightly in front of your knee. You're going to push down with your foot and then draw your body towards your foot. You should feel the hamstrings turn on. Let's do that again. 2 more times. Push down with the foot. Relax, bring it back. Again, push down through the foot. I feel that hamstring turning on. And then you might have to walk that foot forward as you keep that resistance, that little bit of tug of war, and move into the hamstring stretch. You can keep the toes down for a little bit of stretch in the top of the foot, or lift that foot up to really feel it in right smack down the middle of the hamstring. And then we want to pull out of that stretch strong. Use your strength. Resistance stretching is all about eccentric strength. Let's straighten. Ish. You don't have to straighten all the way as long as you're feeling a stretch. All right, let's repeat that again. And 1 more time. For that missing stretch you need to really open up that psoas. Good. And release. Excellent. Let's switch sides. All right, we're going to start with the psoas first. Maybe walk that foot slightly forward. Let's activate first. Let's make sure that foot is straight, right? This lower leg is straight. Pretend you're pulling that knee up and pushing down through the lower leg. So here we go. Contract, stick the butt out. Good. Relax. Contract. Relax. 1 more time. Contract. All right. Resist. Tug of war here. Push down through the leg and then open up that front of the hip and push forward without overarching the back. All right, and then pull out of it and resist as you go back into that stretch. Hug the abs in a little bit, moving the hips forward and down. Let's do that one more time. Great. Okay, here we go. Going into the hamstring stretch. Let's push down, pull forward. Relax, repeat. And one more time. Resist a little, play that little tug of war. Fold forward. And toes up if you want. You can play around with it, toes up or toes down. Pull forward. Resist, tug of war. And one more time here. Again, if you need something for balance, hold on. And resist. Great. There's your missing stretch for your 5-minute Psoas stretch routine. So I know that this video is a little bit longer, but I was talking a bit in the beginning. So hip flexor, hamstring. Do that combo resistance stretching, and you're going to feel stronger and taller, and your hip flexors are going to definitely open up. If you like my channel, or if you like this video, leave me a like, leave a comment. I appreciate comments. And share it with someone that you know might appreciate this video. It helps small channels like mine grow, so I really appreciate that. If you're interested in a 30-day mobility calendar, you can click right here to get access for that for free. And then I also have other online programs. I have a starter stretch program. I have a 6-week mobility program. I have a 21-day intuitive eating journey, healthy habits calendar. So go check those out. You can click the link that just popped up to learn more about those programs. Thank you for watching, and until next week, bye for now.